So that's it after 20 years. So long, good luck.
I don't recall saying good luck.
NHL Bar Shot. This is the easiest I've ever to answer.
Let me say beer. I can't even begin to describe.
I'm actually going to go crazy. I'm going to buy everybody around on this one. Welcome back, everybody, to Big Apple Hockey's Bar Talk. We're engaging our confidence on NHL topics based on our choice of drink. You're so confident you're buying everybody around? So. I'll have beer. Oh, God, I need a shot. Play along in the comments, everybody, and don't forget the Big Apple Hockey trucker hats and shirts are available. Not wearing one right now. I don't know where mine is. I'll have to try to find it or buy one for myself. So, and Martin Necas, who is third in scoring, 30 points right now. He's got a 13-game point scoring streak. Martin Necas will lead the Metro in scoring. Mr. Fulkowski.
I'm going to say shot. He's red hot right now. Red hot. But you have a 13-game point scoring streak. And listen, I was high on Necas in his draft year, but I just don't see that being the case at the end of the year. You got too many guys. Panarin's in a little bit of a lull right now. Yes, he's getting points. Jack Hughes plays for the Devils. I mean, they have a pretty good offensive unit. There are just other guys that I think of when I think of this team. You know what? Honestly, it wouldn't shock me if he's not even the highest scorer on his team when this season ends. If Aho got hot and ended up overtaking him, I would not be shocked by that one bit. I'm going to say shot.
All right. Jim, what do you think?
I'm going with shot as well because there's too many guys in the league. Look, it's talking about peaking, talking about, 13-game point streak. It's all well and good, right? The pace he's on is ridiculous. Like, eventually, it's like the Winnipeg Jets with the way they started the season. Eventually got to come back to earth a little bit. Like, look, he's living up to what he wanted, right? This kid, we heard all the noise in the offseason. He wants more minutes. He wants more time, wants more power play time, wants Rob Brendamore to play him more. The contract was a big issue. He's playing great. But there's so many other guys in the league. I think of a guy in Colorado, two guys in Colorado, Mikko Rantanen and Nathan McKinnon, who could do it. If Connor McDavid starts getting to be Connor McDavid, I think Connor McDavid could be up there. It's a nice story to start, but again, eventually the law of averages say you got to come back down to earth a little bit, and your point streak's going to stop. So I'm going to go shot here.
Yeah, I want to go beer so bad, guys. I want to go beer. And you know what? I'll go beer. Maybe this really is the biggest case of addition by subtraction. Sort of like when after Matt Duchene left Colorado, suddenly Nate McKinnon became this great scorer and they were able to trust him more. Maybe that is it with Necas, that they're not relying on Jake Gensel. They're relying on Marty Necas. It could be it. Maybe it could be. But also, Philkin and you, Jim, hit it on the head. There's other guys in the Metro that are going to be able to be big scorers, especially in this division. I doubt your leaders are going to be Marty Necas and Dylan Strome.
No.
So
Dylan Strome was going to come back down. Marty could stay there for a little bit because I think he is the playmaker this team has been desperate for, especially when they get to the playoffs. But there's too many guys. Even, you say in the Metro, Atlantic, Kucherov. I mean, we're not even bringing up other guys from around the league either. I mean, you mentioned Minnesota, but Kaprizov, he could be doing his thing as well. So there's just too many guys. I just don't see it.
The one thing that sticks out to me with Necas, I'm sorry, I just got to get this stat in, 26.2 shooting percentage.
That's got to come down. That's got to come down eventually.
That always comes down.
That's going to come down.
That's everybody's got that stat. They love the cherry pick. Phil, you have showed me the importance of that stat. I agree with you 100% with those. And yes, they do come down. Moving on, guys. The Detroit Red Wings, they are 31st in the league at 5-on-5 goals. They're 29th in the league in goals scored. They're tied for last place in the Eastern Conference with Columbus and Montreal. Derek Lalonde is the next coach fired. There we go. I'm going to start it, guys, because I'm right here and might as well top it around on this one. If he makes it to Christmas, that's like the longest day of execution possibly ever. So I think that's going to be the case. Phil, thanks for correcting the banner. I think that's what you're doing for me right now. Yeah, Derek, he's the next coach fired. Jim, what do you think? Lalonde going next?
Yeah, I think so. Detroit's underachieving round for me. I think he's definitely the next guy on the hot seat. I mean, there's obviously talk of Nashville, Andrew Brunette. But you look what's going on in Detroit. I think that you see the losses, Sharks, the Duck loss. Like, there's too many losses that are piling up for a team that everybody expected to be in a playoff position and compete in the Eastern Conference. Now, that's a great point, Mike Sullivan. When do they pull the trigger there? That's the problem. Like, they've had so many games already. Now, I will say this. If they had lost Saturday night to San Jose after blowing that lead, I think we're talking about Sullivan Monday. I really believe it.
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking the same exact thing, Jim. I laughed when I saw that. Even if they would have lost that game in the shootout, like going into like 15 rounds or something like that, like a Malik extravaganza, I think he would have been gone then.
But I think Lalonde is next. I really do. Detroit is so underachieving this season with the talent on that team. I think he's going to be the next guy to go.
Phil?
Get the damn hoop.
Boom.
Just get the damn hoop. I mean, it really. I mean, we're going to start calling you Mark Ewing with the way that you're tossing up layups over here. So,
well, they're all the hot topics right now. I can't argue with that.
No, you can't, right? You
No.
can't argue. No.
No. I listen. I get it, but I just have to give you shit. But it just this team, like Jim said, is just underperforming so badly. You bring back Patrick Kane after he scores almost a point per game last year. He's only got 10 points in 18 games. Moritz Seider has 1 goal and 10 points in 18 games, and he's a -1. Your top 5 scorers are all minus players. DeBrincat is a -10 while he has 8 goals and 17 points. Lucas Raymond is a -5. Dylan Larkin is a -7. And for a guy that has 11 goals in 18 games, like, these numbers are inexcusable. It's just they're not playing well. Their goaltending is just woof.
Yeah.
Buzz, your girlfriend, woof.
Buzz, your girlfriend, woof.
I don't know how Cam Talbot has a .920 save percentage, because it just, like, it seems like when I watch them, they're really not playing all that well. Alex Lyon isn't playing great. He's okay for a backup, I guess. And Billy Husso is just so bad that he's not even an NHL level goaltender right now. This team needs to make changes. Like, this Iser plan and everything that it was hyped up to be is not looking good.
Well, because a lot of those guys that they were hyping up, like Moritz Seider, you hit the nail right on the head. What happened to Moritz Seider? 3 years ago, you're like, this guy, he's going to be a star. Who knows? He could be like the next Chris Pronger or anything with that size.
I picked him to get serious Norris consideration in his sophomore year, and he's taken a quite the opposite turn in development. He really needs to get himself back on track.
I agree.
100%, yeah, 100% on that. And Jim, I'm going to go right back to you on this one because we talked about it earlier that it was suggested by Spitting Chicklets that maybe they give Sergei Fedorov a shot from the KHL. You can't do that right now. You can't do that as a midseason hire.
No, absolutely not. You shouldn't be doing that now. I mean, Look, it's fun. You get those players in there, but I also saw this point. I was listening to John Scott before, and shout out to him. When is it okay, and when should we start questioning some of these former players who are in management? How long should that leash be? They were great players. Some of the decision-making Steve Yzerman has made in Detroit are not the same decisions he made down in Tampa.
Yeah. Oh, I was just going to say that.
Sorry to take your fire. But, I mean, you have to wonder when his job security has to be questioned in Detroit. Because they're supposed to be in the playoff mix this year, if not in the playoffs.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, unlike Don Sweeney, where if you're in your car, you're getting the seat warmer, Don Sweeney's on a 3. I think Yzerman, they might be pressing that button right now. And I know the last thing anybody wants to do in Detroit is fire Steve Yzerman or want him fired. But it's getting there. It's getting there, guys. Let's go over to the Central Division where another center prodigy, not having the best start to the season. Connor Bedard only has 3 goals so far. Jim, regardless of that stat, Connor Bedard's still going to score 30 this year.
I think I'm going to go beer here. I think I don't want to say shot, but I'm not going to go full round. I think I'll go beer here just because if he can get his shooting percentage up, again, shooting percentage is a big thing. He's not shooting enough, and he's not shooting the puck enough. And the coaching there, too. How many different line mates has this kid gone through the last several games? Let him develop with some line mates. Yes, it's tough to play center in this league. They put him to the wing. This kid is going to be good. I know we've seen talent before, right? Like, the guys have struggled after their rookie year. It takes time to adjust to the NHL. I get it. But Chicago's doing him no favors. The coaching staff is doing this kid no favors, switching line mates like every other game. It doesn't work like that. I still think he can get to 30 goals.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be tight. It'll be very, very tight.
All right. Phil, what do you think?
I'm with Jim in the aspect that the shooting percentage is like alarmingly low, and it's going to progress to more of a median. He's going to probably get to somewhere around like 11-ish% on the year. I don't know like how high exactly it could get. But he's not being put with a ton of talented playmakers. Like, they had him with Teravainen for a little bit. They broke that up. They put him with Donato, who's a goal scorer, and Donato's goal scoring has gone up. But that's not the guy you want to be the number one goal scorer on the line. Like, you've got a guy that's probably, in terms of his shooting prowess, is one of the top 5 best in the league. His shot is as good as almost anybody sans Austin Matthews. Like, you want him to be the shooter on his line. So that's not been the case. And as Jim said before, they seem to pull like Tortorella when Tortorella gets angry at his team and changes lines like he changes underwear. Like, you can't have that. You got to give these guys time to mesh and develop and learn each other's tendencies and where they're going to be. Like, you think the Sedins just were able to see each other where they were going because they played together for a couple of shifts? No, those guys eat, breathe, sleep, live together, and they knew every single thing that the other one wanted to do. And you need to have lines like that. That's why Mikko Rantanen and Nathan McKinnon work so damn well together, because they know exactly what they're going to do because they've been playing together for so long. And you, like, right now, look at this. Like, if you go on to Daily Faceoff or Morning Puck, you're going to see that line combination. You're going to see those guys with Connor Bedard. Like, is Chicago actively trying to lose games so they can get James Higgins? Because that's what it seems like at that point if you're going to put that line combination together. But, yeah, I you know what? I'm going to say shot. I'm honestly going to say shot. I think he ends up with 25. I think he falls short, and it's not really his fault. It's the coaching staff there, and it's the fact that they just have not given him somebody to stick with consistently, and they need more playmakers on his lines too.
Yeah, hands down, Phil. You just said everything I needed to say, so I'm going to be a little bit shorter on this one. I do think he's going to have a run where he has some games where he pots like maybe 5 goals in 10 or 5 and 7 or something like that. But again, it's going to be a lot of pressure on him, and you got all these moving parts with him right now, putting him on different positions. Let the kid play. Let him get out there. Let him fail. The failure is the greatest teacher. That's somebody said that proverb. I don't know who said it. Sounds like it. Yeah, someone.
Somebody said it.
Someone besides Yoda said that. I do know Yoda said it. Yeah, Yoda said that before, but that was The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I heard it was someone named Mark Williams that said that.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was Mark.
If failure is the greatest teacher, then I have a PhD in failure. Anyway, but
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.